So a lot of Apex Legends players and content creators and pros as well have been kind of voicing their opinions on Season 10 because of the current state of Seer and the Prowler and stuff in this game. They've been going so far to actually say that this isn't the Apex they love. So before you guys actually go ahead and watch this video, I want you guys to do me one thing. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section about what you think of Season 10. I think that this season is great, but everybody doesn't really seem to feel that way. So what do you think of this current season in Apex? Leave your thoughts down below. I actually want to read through and respond to every single comment and see what you guys think about Apex in its current state. So go ahead. What do you guys think? So guys, guess what? People are once again complaining about Apex Season 10. Even though Season 10 just dropped, it's been out for just under 4 days. People are already complaining about this game and finding things that they don't like about Season 10. Now obviously Season 10 isn't perfect. Obviously Respawn has never really made a perfect season, and no season will ever be 100% perfect, but I feel like overall Season 10 right now is in a really good state, and all of the hate directed towards Season 10 is honestly mostly coming from the pros and stuff, and I'll explain why in a sec. But I've also been seeing some of you guys, like the casual players, talking about Season 10 and giving you guys his opinion on why it's a bad season. Let me just say this real quick. I thoroughly enjoyed the season. I feel like Respawn did a very good job making Season 10. It's refreshing. I like the map changes. Seer is interesting, and I'll talk about Seer in a sec as well. I'm also using Seer right now in this gameplay, but overall guys, in the big scheme of things, right, I think Season 10 is in a very good state, and Apex is in a very good state. So one of the biggest complaints right now obviously is about Seer, because Seer is a very, very strong legend. He dropped insanely strong, and people are basically upset because he's insane, right? Which is kind of fair. I mean, he is very, very strong right now. I've seen some casual players say how, Seer is just ruining Apex for everybody, but it's really the pro players who have been saying that Seer is going to completely change, the pro scene and competitive Apex and just make it terrible to play, right? I've seen some of the biggest pros and Twitch streamers talk about just how, insane Seer is. They've even said that Apex is no longer Apex, and it's not what it used to be back in the early days because of all of these new legends and abilities and stuff. I agree, Seer is very insane. He is insane, but I feel like Respawn can't just make changes for pro players because Apex has a very big casual fan base, right? They can't just consider how a legend is going to play in competitive gameplay because Apex also has a competitive fan base, which is expected, right? I understand Respawn's predicament right now. It's going to be tough to balance a game for pros and for casual players, but I mean, the season has only been on for 5 days. We still haven't seen any nerfs to Seer as yet, so I feel like once Respawn makes those changes, then we could complain a little bit more and say what we want to see.
The heart sees what the eye cannot.
Fire it! They went straight down.
That's actually a perfect example right there of kind of how insane Seer is, right? There's actually a clip I want to show you guys of someone using Seer's ultimate and throwing it on a cargo bot. Just take a look at it real quick. Just take a look at how insane this is. So yeah, Seer is crazy. Seer is really strong. All of his abilities are insane. But as I said so many times before, I feel like Respawn is going to nerf him very soon. Respawn has actually confirmed that a Seer nerf is coming very soon, so there's no reason to get too upset or call Season 10 a bad season when the changes will be here very, very shortly. So that's my thoughts on Seer and his current state in Apex. Now people have also been complaining about the weapon meta in Season 10 and the weapon balancing, I should say, especially because of the Prowler. The Prowler is by far the best SMG right now, I would say, in Apex, if you could hit your shots. Once you could connect those shots, guys, it's going to be a very strong gun. I think many casual players won't really complain too much about the Prowler because you actually need to hit your shots a lot. You actually need to connect those shots and hit those shots to make it good. And of course, casual players don't have the gun skill that a pro player will have, so they won't really experience much frustration if someone kills them with a Prowler. but they also won't really notice how good it is even if they use it. But the Prowler is definitely an insane gun, and it definitely does need to get nerfed as well. But outside of the Prowler, I would say the weapon meta, the weapon balancing right now in Apex Season 10 is pretty solid. The L-Star is really good as well, but I wouldn't say it's overpowered. The only really OP gun right now, as I said, is the Prowler, but that to me isn't enough to make me want to say that Season 10 is a bad season. Like, just because something isn't perfect, just because something is OP, doesn't mean the season overall is bad or you know, not good. In terms of legend rebalancing, of course, excluding Seer because he is insane, we know this. Every other legend right now seems to be in a very good state. Caustic was buffed, so he's decent again. Fuse was buffed a lot. Horizon was buffed as well. So I feel like you can use many different legends right now in Season 10 and have a very successful experience. Rewind to a couple of seasons ago, like Season 6 or Season 7, there were only a few good legends you could play. Like Rampart was bad, Fuse was terrible in Season 8, Loba was still pretty bad, Octane definitely wasn't as good. So I feel like we have more options now. We can play different legends and be successful, and this definitely wasn't the case a couple of seasons ago. So once Respawn makes their Seer changes, guys, I can definitely see this season being very good in terms of the legend meta and the legend balancing. So in all of these conversations going on right now about Season 10, what has Respawn said? Well, actually guys, Respawn has said a lot. They had a full session over on Reddit where they basically answered so many different questions, and not just about Season 10. They talked about cross progression, they talked about the next gen update, they talked about like their process in making these legends and, you know, nerfing legends and buffing legends too. So it was just a very good way to really connect to the Apex community and like be transparent. And here's all of the big takeaways from that, right? They confirmed a Seer nerf is coming. They confirmed a Prowler nerf is coming as well. They even talked about why they choose to nerf and buff certain legends. In terms of Seer's current state in Apex, here's what Respawn had to say. Seer has launched strong, which was the hope. He's also brought a lot of new gameplay elements to the game, health bars and interrupts, which has driven a lot of discussion with players, which is great to see. With that being said, he's probably a bit too strong at the moment and will be receiving some balance updates in an upcoming patch. That is great. So again, there's no real reason to, you know, label Season 10 as being bad because a legend is really OP when a nerf is on the way. And even if Seer is insanely OP, right, let's be real, he's also really fun. He's fun, he's hectic, and it just makes for an enjoyable experience right now. So 1 week into Season 10 and Seer being so insane isn't gonna ruin the entire season, and it doesn't make it a bad season. In terms of the Prowler, Respawn said we are watching it and we'll be looking into a potential nerf coming soon. So again, another issue Respawn is looking to solve in an upcoming patch. Coming from me, guys, this might sound a little bit weird because I'm always very like critical of Apex and I give my full unbiased opinion on this game, but I honestly feel like Season 10 is the most fun season I've played in Apex since Season 7, which is a big deal. I don't think this season is bad. I don't think Respawn did a bad job with Season 10. Yes, it isn't perfect, and yes, Respawn still needs to make a lot of changes to make it, you know, just more in line and more balanced overall, but sometimes the Apex community can be a little bit difficult to please. And of course, you know, the pros have a different motive for playing this game. Like, if something isn't balanced in Apex, it affects the pros in a different way. But I still think I need to give Respawn their props and kind of celebrate this season and what they've done, because I'm having a very good time. Apex right now is at an all-time peak in terms of viewership, in terms of players as well. So to end off this video, I would say that Season 10 isn't perfect, but it also isn't bad by any means. Don't forget to leave your thoughts down below, guys. I want to see what you think, and I'll see you in some more Apex. Till next time.